program, you'll also receive free shipping and processing. So this is a fantastic offer. Now again, the number to call, 888-974-9745. 888-974-9745. Also, for everyone who orders today, you'll get a free copy of the Brain Health Guide. The Brain Health Guide will help you understand the latest new tips to improve your memory. And the Brain Health Guide contains the latest research and discoveries to help the health of your brain and is free with an order of Prevagen today. This offer is not available anywhere else. You'll also get free shipping. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call 888-974-9745. That number to call, 888-974-9745.
You've been listening to The Brain Health Show. This program is a paid advertisement for Prevagen, sponsored by Quincy Bioscience. The statements made in today's program have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
For almost 10 years, I've been a lineman for the power company. It's hard work up here on the wires, long, dangerous hours. And at times like this, when storms roll through, I really appreciate how much people rely on me. I know that service is important. That's why I also serve in the Coast Guard Reserve. In the Coast Guard Reserve, our crews respond to rising floodwaters in the Midwest, oil spills in the Gulf of Mexico, and disasters like the Haiti earthquake. The Coast Guard Reserve is a challenge I gladly take on because my country needs me. It has a lot in common with my full-time career, and just like other first responders, firemen, police officers, and EMTs, we do our best work when things are their worst. I have no doubt I was born for this.
If you were born ready to give more to your country, the Coast Guard Reserve is ready for you. Learn more at GoCoastGuard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Talk 1470, WWNN, Pompano Beach, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
AM 1470 with even more information you can use. Are you suffering with chronic pain? Tune in for No Bones About It with Dr. Alvin Stein. You'll learn non-invasive techniques that can help you get rid of your pain without the use of harmful drugs or surgery. That's No Bones About It with Dr. Alvin Stein. Tuesday mornings at 11, right here on AM 1470 WNN, South Florida's Health and Wealth Network.
I have a passion for the environment. That's why I mountain bike. I love being in the woods, on near vertical trails. I relish the challenge when I can appreciate the best nature has to offer. So it was only natural that I would choose a career in the elements, where I can make a difference. That's why I serve in the United States Coast Guard. We monitor commercial vessels, making sure our ports and waterways are safe and clean from oil or other hazardous material. We patrol our fisheries and protect marine wildlife and their habitats. With all we do, it's about protecting America. This is a lot like mountain biking. It's always exciting to navigate through the next challenge.
Were you born ready to protect America, our environment, our resources, our people? Learn more at GoCoastGuard.com.
Sponsored by the United States Coast Guard in cooperation with the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
AM 1470 WNN. Listen live at WWNNradio.com and like us on Facebook. Search AM 1470 WWNN.
The opinions expressed in the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show, the place to fine-tune your swing, dress for the course, club, or cruise, and get tips on the best places to play and stay at the right price. Vacation or staycation, host Dan Shub, along with his expert co-hosts and guests, will tell you where to go. To play golf and vacation, that is. Now, here's Dan.
Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show. I'm your host, Dan Shub, and tonight, like we always do at this time, we're going to talk golf, we're going to talk travel, we're going to have some great guests, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. A couple of my deals, perhaps. We'll find some places where you can go and pay a pittance as well as some travel news, and of course your tip of the week, so we can help your golf game. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But first, like I always like to do right around this time, is introduce to you my co-host, none other than that guy with that beautiful swing, Jess Frank, the PGA teaching professional and owner of the Jess Frank Golf Academy at Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club right here in Boca Raton. Jess specializes in on-course instruction with V1 video analysis because he believes that every lesson and swing is different. Jess likes to focus on the scoring part of your game, those short shots that are taught best right on the golf course, because that instills plenty of confidence. Some of you may know him from his work at area country clubs such as St. Andrews, Boca Lago, and Broken Sound. Jess loves to teach, has a passion for the game because golf can be challenging, but Jess makes it easy for you to learn and excel. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I am excellent, Dan. Good evening to you, and good evening to all our listeners out there. Another gorgeous day here in sunny South Florida in Boca Raton, and a wonderful day on the golf course and on the lesson tee. Helping a lot of golfers get a little bit better, and also took in a little bit of the Masters. So, a good day all in all.
It's funny you say that because I was in Georgia this week and didn't spend my time there. I actually spent my time in South Carolina up in Florence, but I did drive through Georgia, drove up on Monday, was following a lot of other people that I know were heading to the tournament. For instance, we were behind the Maui Gym truck, so
nice.
I know they were heading up there. And you could just kind of tell by certain kinds of vehicles that they were heading up to the Masters as well. But what was interesting to me is, while I was not fortunate enough to actually go to the Masters, the terrain and the foliage and whatnot in South Carolina is very similar.
Sure.
I was seeing beautiful dogwoods and magnolias and azaleas all in bloom, and it just kind of reminded me that as much as I love this tropical, paradise that we live in, it's very consistent. It's a tropical paradise all year long.
Yep.
It's kind of nice every once in a while you get a chance to go see something a little bit different, see different trees and different blooms. And,
of course.
Obviously, a lot of that is what people are looking at the Masters, and seeing the absolute beauty of what you could do with landscaping. I mean, it's just gorgeous.
It's amazing. I mean, I went up there a couple of years ago, and it's Disneyland for golfers. I mean, you don't understand the beauty that is Augusta National until you actually walk the grounds. I mean, it's like you're walking up there. It's like butterflies or flying birds are chirping. There's no brown grass. It's all green.
It's like a Disney animation.
It is. It's an animation. It really is. I mean, there should be deer running through there, but they're not. They're not allowed.
They're not members.
Yeah, they're not members. They don't have a green jacket. But the place is just immaculate. I mean, and everything runs like just a well-oiled machine, and it's truly. I mean, it is golfer's paradise. I mean, the place is. It's really, at a loss for words because of how beautiful it is, and just how perfect the grass is, and just the surroundings. And then, of course, just having the best players in the world there, just, put a cherry on top. But I always said, I'm like, you know what? It'd be a great place just to have a picnic and just sit it's like sitting in a park. It's so
a pimento cheese sandwich.
A pimento cheese sandwich and a beer for $3. It's just the whole experience is, if you're a golf fan, and even if you're not, I mean, just to go there and experience it and see what goes on, and the tradition and the clubhouse and Magnolia Lane and just the souvenir tent and just everything about it is pretty magical. And it's really until you get there, and you don't understand the undulations and the hills and the 10th hole. Literally, I mean, it looks pretty severe. It looks like it has a decent slope on the fairway when you watch it on TV. But until you get there, you don't. I mean, that's like a ski slope. I mean, going down that hill on number 10 when it goes a little bit left and down. I mean, you don't realize how severe that slope is. Number 1 is straight up the hill. Number 2 is down the hill. It's just, it's pretty amazing. And then the greens are just perfect. And then you don't really get on TV. I mean, they look like they're undulated, but unless you're there, you really don't understand the amount of hills and mounds just in the greens and how severe they are. So
well,
it's
you
really
see it when somebody hits a bad putt. Or
exactly.
It just
but
keeps going.
And it's just pretty amazing. And what Jordan Spieth is doing this week is amazing. Is setting the 36-hole record and all that stuff. So
crazy.
But
what that proves,
right,
is that you got to have some game if you want to play in a major, if you want to play at Augusta.
You got to have game.
You got to have game. And how do you have game?
You got to go get lessons.
You got to get lessons. You got to practice. And tonight,
yes.
I set up a show especially for you tonight with our guests. Okay.
All right.
Because today we're going to be talking in just a couple of minutes with Malcolm Provost, and he's the VP of Operations for Rucket Sports. And Rucket manufactures nets. Nets for all different kinds of sports, like soccer perhaps, but of course for golf.
Great to practice with.
Exactly. And I've been practicing. I set
in
one
your
up.
Backyard.
I've been practicing in my backyard.
Saw that.
So that's a great thing if you want to fine tune your game. And the other thing, of course, that you often mention is being flexible and being able to make a full turn when you swing and. So we also have an expert on stretching exercises and how to stay fit and how to stay in shape. So a little bit later in the show as well, we're going to be talking to Joel Harper, and he's Dr. Oz's personal trainer, and he just wrote a book that tells people the things that they need to do to be a little bit more fit, and he's just an expert on stretching. So I asked him if he could talk a little bit specifically about stretches for golf and or travel.
Right.
So that will help, of course, our listeners get into top shape. But my hope is that maybe you also have a wonderful tip for everybody for tonight as well.
And I do, and of
what
course,
a surprise!
Shockingly, and of course, I'm going to steal it from one of my lessons today. And what I see, in a lot of golfers when they come to me is that they make a little bit of a funky move to try to get the club head underneath the ball, and what happens with that is the often dreaded chicken wing, and I'm not talking about the tasty one that you can put barbecue sauce on and all sorts of flavoring and drink beer with it. I'm talking about the left arm for
looks like you're doing the chicken
exactly dance. The left arm for a right-handed golfer that peeks out behind you and you end up with some very odd shots, top shots and shots that go to the right a lot, and there's all kinds of things. So. If you and it usually comes from in the beginning a bad grip, and then bad the way you're sequencing your swing. So there's a lot of things going on. But I like to when I'm faced with that challenge in a student, I like to start basically for a right-handed golfer. What I do is I take a couple tour sticks, a couple alignment sticks, and stick it out about 5 feet in front of the ball. And so what I tell a student, as I said, is put the club head right behind the ball, and all I want you to do is turn your body and take the club and reach and try to touch the toe of the club to the tour sticks that are about 4 or 5 feet away. And lo and behold, the chicken wing disappears. And so what I have them do is I just have them swing the club back a little bit further and then go through, set up some tees and have them swing through the tees and then touch the tour stick. So they're getting some extension with their arms. And that's one of the fundamentals in golf are straight arms. And you'll see it with all the greatest players. I mean, you don't have to have rigid straight arms, but they have to be pretty straight because the more the arms fold into your body or you get that chicken wing, the more the club head comes off the ground. And when the club head comes off the ground, the ball is sitting on the ground, so you're usually going to top it, or there's going to be some sort of mishit.
What I'm hearing is your arms are straight when you line it up behind the ball.
Right.
If your arms are bent when you're getting ready to hit the ball, then it's not going to be hitting in the spot you want it to hit.
You have to have your arms very organized, and it comes from a lot of different things that can affect the chicken wing and that can make it happen. But if you kind of understand the way that works, and so you start with a little bit of a chipping swing, and then touch the two tour sticks or the tour sticks out in front of you. And so what it does is it also takes your attention from the golf ball to more out in front of the golf ball, which is something that everybody needs because the majority of golfers, they get so concerned with the golf ball that they're trying to get underneath the ball, and the ball is what messes everybody up. So if they focused on the swing and swinging through the ball and touching the tour sticks, they would definitely improve their golf game and hit a lot more solid shots. And so what I have a lot of students do that type of drill, and it helps because of the fact of it, first of all, it takes their attention away from the ball and their backswing and thinking about a million things. And if what happens if they have some good extension going through the ball, they usually end up having good extension behind on the backswing, which gives them better width throughout their swing, which provides more power, which provides better contact, and which provides a much better impact, and then they swing through it and they hit the ball and it goes where they want. And
save the chicken wings for the 19th.
Exactly. Save the chicken wings, fried or grilled or whatever you have. I like grilled personally, but yeah, save those
no place for them
on the golf course or on the driving range. There's not a big spot for the chicken wing. So what we do, save the chicken wing for the grill room and work on the extension of the arms and straight arms through the shot and after the shot. And I think you're going to hit a lot of good, solid golf shots and lower your scores and improve your game. So that's, it's easy.
And then once you have that down, you can practice a little bit with your
Rocket and then net. You go with the Rocket net, you go in the backyard, and it's funny that you say that because I always tell people, I say, take a couple tour sticks or take something that you can touch, and that the Rocket net is a great way to practice, and you put down a little piece of AstroTurf and just make those little swings, and lo and behold,
and life is good.
Life is good, and you hit a lot of good shots, and yeah, to improve, you have to practice. It's like anything. It's like learning the piano or any type of game that you're doing. You always practice, and that's why it boggles my mind. It boggles, yeah, exactly. It boggles my mind that people say, "Well, I can't get any better at golf." I say, "Well, how much do you practice?" "Oh, never. I just go to the golf course and play." And I'm like, "Well, you gotta put some time into it." So.
There you go.
Yeah.
And speaking of time, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we will be back with our guest, Malcolm Provost, the VP of Operations from Rocket Sports, to find out all about those nets that will help you get better at golf. So stay tuned for more of the Golf and Travel Show. We'll be right back. And we are back, and it's time for a brief message from one of our favorite sponsors. I'll let you have the honors, Jess.
Absolutely, in the home of the Jess Frank Golf Academy, where Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club is a great place to play. Located in Boca Raton with a par 72 championship course and a par 3 executive course. Something for all skill levels. There's also a lighted driving range with practice areas and a snack shop open till 10 p.m. It's a great place to host a charity event or golf outing with a full-service catering facility with all banquet rooms overlooking the golf course. It's a perfect place for weddings, bar mitzvahs, anniversary parties, and any other catered events you may need. If you're looking to get into the game of golf, there are several teaching pros available for private or group lessons, and their friendly staff invites you to come see for yourself. So call the Pro Shop at 561-451-1600 extension 102. That number again, 561-451-1600 extension 102 for more information and tee times. You can also visit their website at bocadunes.com. That's bocadunes.com.
And we are back. And as we had said earlier, the only way to get better is to practice. And if you want to practice, sometimes it's more convenient to do it right in your own backyard. That's what I just learned. And I had an opportunity to talk to the folks from Rocket Sports at the PGA Merchandise Show this past January up in Orlando and see some of their different products. They've got bigger nets, smaller nets, ones that are easy to travel with, ones that are good targets for your chipping game. Just all sorts of neat things that will help your golf game as well as other sports too. And to find out a little bit more about it, we've got none other than their Vice President of Operations, Malcolm Provost, with us tonight. Malcolm, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. And as you may have seen on our Facebook page, I've been out there practicing my swing because Lord knows Jess is yelling at me that I need to practice more too, as well as all of the listeners. Not yelling so much, but just encouraging. Yeah, there's a better word.
There you go.
So why don't you explain to us, first of all, a little bit about what it is that you do at Rocket so that everybody knows a little bit more about you.
Well, I'm a VP of operations, which covers a wide variety of things. I do design, a lot of marketing out there. We just work with the manufacturers. We're really able to bring the price point on all of our products down by working directly with them. So, pretty small company as of yet, so everybody's got their fingers in everything, but we're making it work.
How long has the company been around?
Only about for 2.5 years. I've been with the company for about a year and a half of those, but super excited to be working with such good people.
Now, as I had mentioned, I saw you guys at the PGA Merchandise Show. So do you guys do a lot of those kinds of shows for all different kinds of sports around the world?
We try to get around as much as we can, mostly around the United States and Canada right now, but, in the future, who's to say we won't end up in Europe, South America, Australia.
And you guys are headquartered up in Canada, I believe?
No, we're up in Delaware, actually.
Delaware. Oh, okay. Well, sounded far north to me, so.
Yeah.
But, all right, so we know, before we get to golf specific, why don't you just let us know all the different sports that you have products that might work for?
Well, golf is our main one, but we also work with some lacrosse products. We do baseball, soccer, and we're reaching out to football right now. We're looking at hockey also sometime in the future.
Very, very cool. Now, are most of these products more portable or more stationary? Or I'm only familiar with mine that was pretty easy to set up and if I need to, take down.
The philosophy with our company is pretty much about portability. So all of our nets either fold or twist up. They're easy to take around. They're usually very light. We basically center around portability with all of our nets.
And, all right, so let's talk a little bit about what you do have that's golf-specific then. I know that I believe, a smaller one, a larger one, and then a smaller one that perhaps is good for chipping. So why don't you talk a little bit about the line for golf?
Well, as far as chipping goes, we have a couple of them. We have our chipping target, which is pretty basic. It's got some little some pockets to chip into. It's really nice. Another one that we came out with doubles on that. We have that, the chipping element. But if you flip it over, it's actually a range marker. So if you have a nice field or something to hit in, you can set it out there, mark off 150 yards, see if you can reach it.
That's pretty cool.
Besides the little chipping targets, we have 3 targets that you can really use any club in your bag on. Our flagship product is the Ruck Net, and this is a spring steel frame design. It folds up into concentric loops. Real easy to take around, real easy to set up, break down. Then we got our big guy, the Spider Net. It's a fold-up net, super durable. All of our products are really well powder-coated, so they'll really stand up to all the elements. But this one is it's kind of the top dog of them all.
I believe that's the one that I have, I think. It's nice, I'll tell you. I tried my best to miss it, and I couldn't. It's big.
Yeah. Very important, especially for the lower handicaps like myself.
Well, yeah, and my neighbors are grateful because I'm not putting out their windows,
That's right.
So you said that they're durable. So if I don't take it down and move it around and I keep it in my backyard, how long would I expect it to hold up out there?
It's going to hold up for a very, very long time, probably years. The powder coating that we use on it is rated up to 1,000 UV hours. Which means that it'll last for a very, very long time. UV hours are incredibly powerful UV rays, more powerful than the sun puts out.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you kind of an idea. And then the nets that we use on them, they're 5-ply polypropylene, and not only can you not smash a golf ball through it, but it's going to stand up to rain and shine.
Yeah, that sounds to me, or it looks to me, kind of like the rope that you use to tie down boats and stuff.
Yeah. I wouldn't tie down any boats with it, but it's certainly going to keep your balls in play.
Well, that's good. You could take it on your boat, though, for those who are listening on their yacht. It's not safe to hit them into the water. Yeah, there's a market for you. Maybe we talk a lot about the cruise lines and stuff and how people used to hit golf balls off the side of the boats, and you can't do that anymore. So we got to get your stuff there.
Yeah.
All right, so explain to the folks a little bit about anything else. I mean, what other kinds of features perhaps do you have? I believe I noticed that, the balls return to you. I set mine up on a kind of a downhill thing so they don't come back to me as well. But I think at the show on a flat surface, when you hit the balls, they kind of came back to you.
Yeah, all of the nets that we can drive into, we worked really hard to design them in a way that the ball will kind of roll back to you. Now, if you're doing it in the grass or kind of a rough surface, the ball just by physics is not going to be able to get back to you quite as easily.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on a flat surface, it'll usually pop it right back out to you. Saves you a lot of time, a lot of walking around.
And are there any other cool features, perhaps, that separate you from some of the other nets besides the durability or the fact that the ball comes back to you? I mean, what is it that makes you different from the other ones that are out there?
Well, the reason we started the company really in the first place is that we saw this trend. A lot of our competitors were on a race to the bottom. And, you know, especially in golf, we thought that that's really not what people were looking for. So the fact that we can work directly with the manufacturers lets us hit a really low price point for our products without compromising the quality. So we use thick steel, real solid netting, and just kind of head and tails above a lot of the competition out there.
Okay, so you mentioned about price, that it's affordable. So for the listeners out there, what do you mean by that? What's the range of prices for your products?
Well, the big one, the Spider Net, the fold-out one, we're selling for $299. The RuckNet rather, our flagship product, I think it's selling at $199 right now. And the HackNet, the one that we got Coach Chris Hack to endorse, is $149.
Okay, well, that's certainly reasonable, and I know that it's not that expensive if you do need to get some turf, like Jess, my sidekick here, mentioned a little bit earlier. That wasn't too bad either, but of course some people can use it right on their grass if they've got nice grass, if they maybe it won't look like Augusta's grass.
Save the grass, though.
Yeah, there you
go.
Put
the AstroTurf down.
But, so that is very reasonable, and as we know, if you go to the driving range, you can probably spend a lot of money on buckets of balls, and for those of the folks that are too lazy to get up and go, it's kind of nice to have it right in your backyard.
Well, the best thing about those nets is that you can, the best way to improve is slow motion swings, and so you can put the nets up in your backyard like that, and you can do slow motion swings with like wiffle balls or real balls and hit off of AstroTurf and really improve your game quickly by doing that. And that's one of the things that I like to teach. And one of my mentors, Paul Berthley, who I read about a lot, never met him, but definitely influence on my teaching, is that a lot of holding positions and slow motion, and so doing this, I always encourage my students to have a net up in their backyard for sure. So this would fit right in.
And of course, you can get some of this newfangled technology too now, where you can actually get a lot of information from your swing out there. Set that up as well. So that's pretty cool. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you've been doing? You haven't been in business for that long or that many years, and so from where it all started, where are you now?
We've gotten some really, really great responses from our customers. If you look at our Amazon page and our website, our reviews are just kind of off the charts. So we're doing something right.
Okay.
But, as y'all were saying, if you set this thing up in your backyard and you start pinging away, especially with your driver, I've had my friends in my neighborhood come up and they hear the golf happening, but they can't believe it.
Yeah, I think my neighbors too, and they keep waiting for something to come over the fence, and it hasn't yet. So that's pretty cool. Now, if somebody wants to get a hold of one of these products, are they sold retail in stores, or is it best to buy them on your website direct or from other online retailers? What's the best way for people to find out about it or get their hands on one?
One of the reasons we've been able to keep prices really low is that we only sell on Amazon and through our website. We don't have any brick-and-mortar shops selling our products right now.
Okay.
But, again, who's to say what will happen in the future?
So your website is?
It is rucket.com, RUKKET.
Okay, and if they're looking for you on Amazon, I guess just put in Rucket and do a search and you'll come up?
Oh, yeah. If you punch in golf nets, we're going to pop right on up there. We've been rocking it.
And what about the freight? I mean, obviously these are, while they're relatively light, it's still a pretty big package. Is freight included? Is freight expensive? Does it take a long time to get?
Freight's included in all of our prices on Amazon.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's one thing you just really don't have to worry about.
I got to tell you, I've become a big fan of Amazon. I was just talking to Jess. I needed to get a bunch of items, smaller items for like raffle prizes for a charity tournament, and I ordered 10 different small items. Some came from Amazon, some came from independent folks like you. And everything shipped free, and this tournament was in California. Just the money that I saved from not having to take everything here and then get it to California made it amazing. So I'm a huge Amazon fan.
Yeah, for better or worse, it's kind of the wave of the future.
Well, next they're going to be using drones, I think, to deliver it to the people. So we'll